Number 5. In November of 1997, 54-year-old Michael Sullivan, along with his 36-year-old girlfriend, left their home in Manhattan to go jogging, though they never returned. After several days of no family or friends hearing from them, Camden's mother headed over to check on them. It was then that the mother discovered that all their personal belongings were still at home. Nothing had been stolen and no bags had been packed to indicate any sort of unplanned trip. They were then reported missing, with police believing that the couple's landlord was likely involved. Robert Rodriguez, the property owner, had supposedly been having financial issues around the time that the couple went missing, and planned on increasing the couple's rent substantially, to which Michael and Camden obviously refused. After informing all of his tenants of his plan to increase rent, everyone argued that they weren't going to pay. Rodriguez then retaliated by threatening to turn off the building's heat if everyone didn't agree to pay the new rent plan. Though Camden organized a petition and handed it in to Rodriguez. In this petition, it was stated that if Rodriguez turned off the heat to the building, all of the tenants would withhold rent payments until it was turned back on, and rent was returned to a normal rate. Just days later, the couple went missing. Though police soon found out that Rodriguez was missing as well, having left the area for over 2 weeks without any sort of warning. Upon his return, police questioned him for any involvement in Camden or Michael's disappearance, though they had no substantial evidence to charge him. However, he was charged for tax evasion, larceny, and credit card fraud. But to this day, Camden and Sylvia still remain missing. Number 4. In October of 1928, Glenn and Bessie Hyde had just been married and planned on spending their entire honeymoon rafting down the Colorado River. By mid-November, they'd passed by the home of a well-known photographer, Emery Kolb, to restock on food and other supplies before continuing on their journey. Though just hours after leaving Kolb's property, they were never heard from again. About a month later in December, a search party found the couple's raft a short distance down the river. It appeared as though the couple's tow line had been caught in something underneath the water, though no one is sure if this happened before or after the couple vanished. When searching for the boat, they found that all of the couple's recently purchased items were still there, but Bessie and Glenn were nowhere to be found. It's been reported that Glenn, for reasons unknown, refused to bring life jackets on the trip. Because of this, many have simply accepted the idea that the couple drowned or that they likely hiked out in the woods, became lost, and passed away. Though over time, the story of their disappearance has sparked many myths and legends. In fact, in 1971, a woman named Elizabeth Cutler came forward claiming to have been Bessie Hyde. She alleged that she'd taken the life of her husband before dumping his body and fleeing to start a new life, though this story was never confirmed. Additionally, many obviously assumed that Mr. Kolb was likely involved as well. After Kolb eventually passed away, police searched his property one final time and found skeletal human remains. Though these remains didn't belong to either Glenn nor Bessie. To this day, over 90 years later, the couple has still never been found. Number 3. In May of 1970, Edward and Stefania Andrews were around the age of 65 and attending a cocktail party in Chicago. Throughout the course of the party, visitors began to notice that Edward appeared to have not been feeling well, with the manager of the property claiming to have witnessed Edward staggering into his vehicle before leaving, with Stefania in the passenger seat sobbing and begging him not to drive. They were last seen driving down the wrong side of the road after clipping the corner of a parking garage. Police believe that the couple likely drove off the road somewhere near the Chicago River and likely drowned, though a search party was sent out and no one was found. About 10 years later, a full sweep of the river was done, with 12 vehicles being pulled from the water, though none of them belonged to the Andrew family. Later on, an anonymous source came forward claiming that the couple had been taken away by gang members, placed in a different car, then forced into a pond near Green Oaks. However, a search of this pond turned up nothing. To this day, neither the couple nor the car have ever been found, but their bodies are almost certainly resting somewhere in the city of Chicago. Number 2. In July of 2006, Christopher Mittendorf, along with his fiancée Christina Branham, left home to go on a shopping trip. It's been reported that the couple had been living with Christopher's mother at this time, and when his mother returned home later that day, she found the couple's newly purchased clothes laying all across their bed, though the couple was nowhere to be seen. An extensive search soon began, and about 5 days later, the couple's car was finally found about 60 miles away. One of their cell phones had been left behind, with an eyewitness claiming to have seen the couple exit the car, which had been pulled over on the curb, then get into a white car, which then drove away. Christopher's mother believed that the two had likely been taken away by a well-known hitman named George Bogus. She says that in the days leading up to their disappearance, she found a number of items that belonged to George in Christopher's possession. While she isn't sure exactly where they came from, she has a feeling that Chris may have stolen them from him, resulting in George retaliating. Police looked into this possibility, but ultimately found no info that could tie George to the disappearance. To this day, the couple has never been found. Number 1. Claude and Martha Shelton lived together with their 3 children in Kentucky. One evening in May of 1971, the couple put their children to bed, locked the house, and headed away in their car, headed toward the city, though no one ever saw them again. Many locals believe that the couple may have willingly abandoned their children, fled the state, and started new lives elsewhere, though police found little to no evidence of this. In fact, on the night of the couple's disappearance, one of the children claimed to have heard Claude ask Sue if she was going to stay at home with the children or leave with him. The child was at first concerned, but then found out that they'd simply had plans to drive a few miles up the road to a truck stop, then return home later on. Though when police investigated the truck stop, no one recalled seeing the couple there that evening. It had been reported by the children that the couple had saved up about $600 in cash that they had hidden in a bowl in the kitchen, though this money had mysteriously gone missing. To this day, almost 50 years later, the couple has never been seen again. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to click that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to keep updated with our videos.